You might want to make a little pillow with the hands underneath the head. Closing the eyes and relaxing down. So you're very welcome on into Bliss. Just a really slow, mellow class, thinking about slowly, slowly, slowly easing into the body, focusing on the breath. And we're starting off here in crocodile pose, lying down on our tummies, face down, bringing one ear to either the mat, or if you prefer, you can make a little pillow behind the ear with the hands. Or if you are bringing the ear down to the mat, you could let the palms face up by the sides. Whatever works for you. Just closing the eyes and starting to relax and breathe. Bringing your awareness in towards the breath. Just noticing how your breath is flowing, how it feels, how it sounds right now. Whether it's easy, whether it feels maybe higher in the chest, the texture of the air as it crosses the nose and the throat. And seeing if you can start to slowly bring the awareness in towards deepening the breath. So just no force, just gently encouraging that breath to maybe move deeper down into the lower belly, into the back body. Maybe just feeling maybe even physically how the breath can start to become more expansive. Here in this prone position, you can really enjoy that sense of the back body expanding and releasing. That passive stretch in the neck. Maybe seeing if you can soften the muscles of the eyes and the jaw. Maybe feeling a little gap come between the teeth. And just counting out 5 more deep breaths in and out here. Really full breaths. Easy inhale, steady exhale. One more really deep breath in. And out. And from there, we're just going to come up and move deeper into a sphinx. So taking the elbows underneath the shoulders, just maybe giving the hips a little shake, and starting to just feel that lovely extension of that back bend. So you can maybe start to move the elbows further away if you need to reduce the intensity, or letting the elbows come more underneath the shoulders will increase the intensity of this stretch. Letting the gaze come out just in front of you, so keeping a softness in the neck. Try not to overstrain that by lifting. We're just focusing on finding that nice neutral position through the head. Maybe taking a little bit of energy through the elbows and drawing the shoulders back. So just a little bit of energy there that allows the chest to reach forwards between the hands. And once again, feeling how the breath expands the back body. How the breath lengthens the spine. Maybe enjoying just closing the eyes here. Feeling that inhale. And that exhale in the back body. Letting both legs relax, the eyes soften, the jaw soften. And really, once again, maybe enjoying the sound of the breath. Letting it flow like a wave, rising, holding for just a moment and falling away. And taking 3 more breaths here. Another 2. One more really deep inhale. Exhale. And returning there to your crocodile pose. Bring the opposite ear from last time down to the mat. Again, feel free to make a little pillow with the hands if you'd like. And soften. Once again into this really, really subtle, gentle back bend. Noticing the skin of the lower back and feeling how it just starts to move a little with every inhale and exhale. Maybe noticing the texture of the air across the nose, the throat, the lips. Seeing if you can release a little more, let go of any holding through the body, letting the hips and the feet and the shoulders and the head ground down. For another 5 deep breaths in and out. And letting those breaths be expansive but unforced. Easy deep breaths. Same quality of breath we find when resting. Taking one more really deep inhale and exhale. From there, coming up to our final back bend, moving from Sphinx, elbows underneath the shoulders, into a seal. So just taking the hands slightly wider of the mat. As before, if you creep the hands forwards, that's going to reduce the stretch through the spine. And if you start to wiggle the hands back a little bit, if it feels comfortable, finding your way into Sphinx. So sometimes the shoulders hunch up here. We really want to focus on drawing the shoulder tips back, almost like you're trying to stretch out through the chest. Feeling the shoulder blades rise down the back, finding that length through the spine. Maybe once again, closing the eyes and breathe. Don't feel like you've got to push this. Want to focus on a feeling of space, even as we stretch the lower back. You want to feel that lovely extension, and you want to feel the breath flowing in and deep breaths in and out. If you're feeling like you might even take it further here, you could have a go lifting up the feet, getting a bit of stretch into the quads there, intensifying that back bend. Remember, we're finding that sense of opening through the chest still. A little bit stronger, we won't be here too long. Just working here for another 3. Inhaling. Exhaling. 2. One more inhale. And exhale, gently release. From there, taking the hands underneath the shoulders and pressing the hips back towards the heels. So stretching out hips to heels, forehead to mat. Maybe giving the hips a little shimmy from side to side. If this doesn't feel right for you, you're welcome to take the feet wider and enjoy a wide-legged child's pose. Or if you want to bring them narrower, that's going to help bring a little more stretch into the lower back. So entirely up to you, finding a wide or a narrow-legged child's pose and letting the spine settle. Feeling the hips move down towards the heels, maybe the fingertips creep forwards a little bit, maybe the lower back lengthens. Feeling the side body expand, both sides of the ribcage stretching out. And release. So almost imagining hands on the lower back, gently peeling the lower back down towards the floor. Feeling the sit bones become heavier. And feeling that softening of the sit bones to the floor brings space into the back body. Completely surrendering to gravity. And working here, just taking a few deep breaths, softening, relaxing, releasing the spine. Another 3, inhale, exhale, 2, 1 more really deep breath in, and out. From there, grounding down with the hands, roll on up and find your way to a table pose. Moving into an animal pose here, so it's half pigeon. We're going to drop down onto the left hip. So the left knee is going to be on the left side of the mat, the left shin 45 degrees or so to the short side of the mat. The right knee is coming out in a little spiral, and then from there, we're going to slowly transfer the weight over the left shin and move into an animal pose. So you should be feeling a nice stretch down the outside of that left leg, maybe through the inside of the right leg. So it's a really lovely little stretch. We're getting an internal and an external rotation through the hips. It's another little element of forward fold, of spine lengthening here. And you can have a little play. So you could have the body moving more towards that left knee, or maybe taking it around more towards the foot, or somewhere in between. Just focusing on finding anywhere that feels good for you. And when you're ready, starting to gently stretch forwards. It might be here that you want to bring the head down to the floor. You can make a little pillow with your hands. You could place a little pillow underneath the head if you have one. Or it might be that you're still just staying up, entirely up to you. Imagining here the tailbone extending behind you and the spine extending away from the tailbone. Closing the eyes and breathe. Forehead relaxing. Jaw and eyes and cheeks soft. Working here for another 5 breaths in and out. Really deep breaths in and out. Another 3. Inhaling, exhaling 2. And 1. From there, we're moving into a pigeon pose. So coming up, twisting around, we're going to take the left shin maybe a little more parallel to the mat if you're feeling it. Make sure the right shoulder, the right leg is right out behind you. You want it to be straight. If you find that you're quite high up here, you can stick a brick underneath or a pillow underneath that left hip. Can be really nice just to give yourself a little bit of support. Want to avoid overly sinking down and then causing the whole right hip to lift. You want to focus on finding that neutral pelvis. From there, just starting to gently extend and fold forwards. So thinking about finding that stretch, that length down the spine. That space in the hips. Deep, full breaths in and out. So a deepening of that expansive stretch through the back of the left leg, into the hips, a little more in the hips than our animal pose, and a really nice way to fully extend through the spine. Even getting a little bit into the front of that right leg, into the hip flexors, so subtly different from our animal pose. Again, just seeing if you can find that quality of softness, of surrender, of letting go. Deep breaths in and out. 5 more. Inhaling. Exhaling. Feeling that breath, feeling how it flows, how it moves. Another 3, 2, and 1. Gently walking the hands up, sweeping the right foot around, and then we're just going to move straight onto our second side. So now we are taking the right knee to the right side of the mat. The shin is about 45 degrees or so to the short side of the mat. The left knee is coming out, so once again we're finding those lovely little spiral legs and gently starting to stretch forwards, moving out over the left shin maybe, or over the left knee, just as before. Have a little play with how those legs are spiraled. We're going to be here a little while, so you want to focus on finding somewhere where you can feel a stretch and you can find comfort. So we're getting that internal and external rotation. And starting to fold over when you're ready. Moving with the breath. Eyes are softening. So feeling the sit bones sinking down to the mat, the spine gently creeping forwards, the shoulders softening. Again, seeing if you can bring the awareness to the breath. And if you find the mind is starting maybe to wander, to be busy, seeing if you can maybe count the inhale, count the exhale. Attaching a slow count of 3, 4, or 5 to the inhale. 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever number it is to the exhale. Just really bringing the awareness inwards towards the breath and letting that awareness still the mind. Working here for another 5. Inhaling. Exhaling. Remember the sit bones are grounding, the spine is extending. 4. 3. 2. 1 more really deep inhale. Exhale. And walking the hands back up. From there, sliding the left foot out behind you and moving into pigeon. So you might want to take the right shin more parallel to the short side of the mat. You might want to look over your left shoulder and slide the left knee, ankle, hip out behind you. If you want to take a little bit of support behind that right hip, feel free. So just work your way into any expression of the pose that feels nice. Thinking about finding length, and when you're ready, starting to release down. So we're stretching out down the front of that left hip flexor. Breathing in deep, spacious breaths into the back body, into the spine. Shoulders are softening, spine is extending. Finding space in the back body. In and out. Lovely stretch through the back of that right leg, through the hips. Seeing if you can find that quality of softness, surrender, even as you stretch. Taking another 5 deep breaths in and out here. Another 3, inhaling. Exhaling, 2. One more deep breath in. And out. From there, walking the hands up, sweeping the left foot out and extending both legs out in front of you. Give yourself a little shimmy through the legs, a little shake out. And from there, we're just going to extend the left leg out and plant the right foot over the left knee. Flexing that left foot, inhale, reach the right hand up and around, planting the right hand down like a second spine at the lower back. Taking the left hand to the right knee and keeping the left foot flexed, pressing the right big toe into the mat. Inhale, lift the spine. Start to draw the tummy in towards the thigh and the thigh back into the tummy. Visualizing the spine rising up from the very base of the spine all the way up. Inhale, lift, lift, lift. Imagine that you're drawing the left rib cage to meet the right inner thigh and you're drawing the right rib cage back. So feeling that twist and then feeling the right shoulder draw back. Inhaling. Exhaling, beautiful deep twist. Resetting the spine after those deep movements. Working here for another 5. Inhale. Exhale, really drawing the spine long on the inhale. Exhale, twist 3. Deep breath in and out 2. And 1, swapping over there. Right foot is extending, left foot is coming over. So right foot is flexed, left foot is grounded, core is engaged. Inhale, lifting up, planting the left hand behind you, creating that almost second spine. The right hip bone is grounding, hugging the right hand around the left knee. And when you're ready, starting to breathe in. So the right foot is flexed. Inhale, feeling the sit bones ground, the crown of the head reach tall and start to rotate from the base of the spine. Remember, you're grounding with the left big toe, the left hip is staying grounded, and start to draw the rib cage around. So imagine that left side of the rib cage is drawing back, the right side of the rib cage is reaching forwards. The shoulders are staying down. Inhaling. Exhale into that beautiful deep twist. And breathe. Inhaling. Exhaling. For 5. Deep lift. And twist into that space. The rotation creates 3. 2. 1 more inhale. And exhale, release. Well done. Returning through center there. From there, we're going to plant the hands behind us. Take the right ankle onto the left knee. Now, this already might feel like a big juicy stretch for you, in which case you're very welcome to stay here. If you'd like to, we're going to shimmy the sit bones forwards and eventually, hopefully, aiming to feel a stretch down the back of this right leg. So it's a seated pigeon, essentially, a much deeper variation than when we were on the floor in our animal pose and our pigeon pose. We're getting even deeper into the back of that right leg here. So slightly different, subtle difference, a little bit more into the glute, lifting the chest up, stretching up. So maybe feeling quite spacious already after those preliminary stretches. And just enjoying that lovely deep breath once again. Returning to that breath. Inhaling. Exhaling. Won't be here too long. Just another 3. Deep breath in. And out. 2. One more inhale. And exhale, gently shimmy back. Take the right foot down, move the body weight backwards, and take the left ankle to the right knee. Remember, just stop whenever's good for you. It might be here. It might be you're able to shimmy forwards. Just taking it easy. Remember, the aim of today's class is to slowly ease into the body. So take your time. Just shimmying forwards, noticing where you feel that stretch, maybe quite intensely through the glutes, through the outer side of that hip maybe a little bit in the hips. And breathe, keep the chest lifting, keep that sense of length in the spine. Another 5, inhaling. Exhaling, 4, well done. 3, deep breaths in. And out, 2, and 1. Really gently, slowly start to unravel. There. From there, extending your left leg out long on your mat and bringing the right sole of the foot into the left inner thigh. Thinking about shimmying back onto the sit bones, you might want to physically move your butt out of the way. If you want to sit up on a brick here, feel free. So we've got the slight diagonal through that left leg, the right foot is coming in. Inhale, reaching up, angling the body over that left leg, and we're starting to take a forward fold. So as always, loads of options here. It could be that sitting upright feels like a good place for you. It might be you want to have quite a big deep bend in that knee, and you could fold forwards there, or again sit upright. You can plant the hands behind you. I really like to use a strap here, taking a strap around the ball of the left foot. And you can just use that to enjoy a sense of extension from the arms and create a little bit of activity, but without the shoulder blades hunching up. So if you're comfortably able to reach forwards, do feel free. If you'd like to use a strap to find that same effect, rock on. If you'd like to keep it really soft with a bend of the knee, go ahead, your choice. It's a single leg forward fold. We're getting deeply into the hamstring, getting a passive stretch of this right hip as well. If you find this right knee sticking up quite a lot and it's not very comfortable, again, you can just place a little brick or a little bit of support underneath that right knee. So finding whatever expression suits you, and we'll stretch into it. Inhaling and exhaling. So always imagining the left hip moves backwards and lengthening in there. Using the breath. Inhale, find height, find lift. Exhale, moving forwards and then downwards. Intense stretch into the back of the leg. Steady flow with the breath in and out. Almost imagining how the spine moves, feeling the spine move vertebra by vertebra. Working here for 5. Inhaling. Exhaling. So just feeling into how the lower back gently extends, the rib cage moves towards knees. 4. 3. Deep breaths in. And out. 2. 1 more inhale. Exhale. From there, walking the hands carefully back up. Reaching up tall, inhale, and exhale, twist. Taking the left hand to the right knee and the right hand behind you, flexing the left foot. Just take 1 deep breath in and out here. From there, turning the left palm up and inhaling the right hand up and over as if we're stretching out the side body here. So we're gently rotating. We're drawing the left shoulder down to the inside of the left leg. The right hand comes up. So stretching out, focusing on lift, finding that lovely extension through the side body. Inhaling and exhaling. So don't worry if that right hand's not coming over towards the toes. We don't want to compromise that loss of sensation of stretch down the side body. Inhaling. Exhaling. So we're finding a lovely twist through the spine, lengthening out through the side body. Of course, getting a little into the hips and the hammies as well. Working here for 3. Inhale. Exhale, 2. One more lovely deep inhale. And exhale, transition. And swap over. Right foot extends, left foot coming into the inner thigh. Shimmying down, finding your sit bones. Inhale, lift, angle, and start to fold. So as before, loads of options. You can be high, you can lean forwards, you can take hold of the toes, you can have the hands behind you, you can have a brick underneath this left knee, you can have a soft bend in that right leg, or of course you can use a strap. Absolutely any option that you enjoy that feels nice in your body. Try here to keep from hiking the shoulder. So we're not going to take this side bend yet, we're going to keep the body angling forward. So sometimes when we take a forward fold, because of the angle of the leg, the left shoulder wants to creep up. What you want to do is keep both shoulders in line, take a slight angling of the body over, so a slight twist, and then we're folding forwards from there. Maybe using your strap and breathing your way into this forward fold. Inhaling and exhaling. So remember, a forward fold is just that. It's a forwards movement, not a downwards movement. And it's that quality of moving forwards we really want to find here. So inhale, ground the hips, feel the lower back reach forward, stretch forwards. So we're moving long from the very base of the spine. Imagining the lower back, the rib cage reaches forwards, and then we're starting to relax downwards. Inhaling. Exhaling. So stretching into the hamstrings. So aiming to find it right deep in the muscle, this back of the leg. Maybe a little bit in the calves as well. Maybe feeling this lovely spaciousness in the lower back. Really important muscles to stretch out for spinal health. Working here, another 5. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Trying to move without strain. Just relaxing in. 3. Deep breaths in. And out. 2. One more inhale. Exhale. From there, walking the hands up. Inhaling, tall, reaching up. Exhaling, take a counter twist. Right hand to left knee, left hand behind you. Thinking about lifting up tall and just taking a deep breath in. And out. From there, the left palm flips up on the right, the right hand flips up on the left knee, and the left hand starts to reach over the head. So remember, you're stretching out down the left side body here. So flexing that right foot, inhaling, and exhale, start to ground. You can maybe let that right elbow come onto the left inner thigh. Remember, you want to focus on finding that lateral movement. So grounding it out with both sit bones. If you keep this right foot flexed, it's going to help a little finding that grounding. Inhale and exhale, reaching over, stretching over. Really lovely deep stretch down the side body. Trying to keep relaxed through that shoulder. Remember to breathe into this, inhaling and exhaling. Lovely deep stretch for 5. Full breaths in. And out. 4, just extending and lengthening. 3, deep breath in. And out. 2. One more inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reaching up. And release. From there, extending both legs out in front of you. Final deep forward fold. Shimmying back onto the sit bones. Big deep bend in the knee if you like. And starting to move into a double leg forward fold. So if you start to shimmy back from that bent leg position, that just means you get onto your sit bones, you start to get that angle forwards. And we've got loads of options here. So you could hold on around your shins, your ankles, the feet. If you can comfortably reach forwards, rock on. If you prefer to have the hands behind you, if you want to maintain that bend in the knees, exactly the same as when we're taking it in our single, we're now moving a little bit deeper into our double. Again, it can be really nice to use a strap here, if that's something you enjoy. Thinking about inhaling, lifting up, moving the body weight forwards and stretching down. Aiming to find that lovely spacious stretch through the back body. Inhaling. Exhaling. Can be really nice to let the head relax here. If the chin comes to the chest and you get this lovely release of tension down the back of the neck and the shoulders, can be really nice. It can be quite nice to pull the outer edges of the feet away from each other as well, and you get this lovely little intensification of the stretch. Or you can stay really soft, whatever works for you. Remember, it's a forwards, not a downwards movement, so again, getting that sense of moving forwards on an inhale, lengthening, and then relaxing downwards. Full breaths in. And out. Almost imagine you just lengthening, rippling forwards for 5. Inhale. Exhale. 4. Deep breaths in. And out. 3. 4 steady breaths. 2. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. And rolling all the way up there. Beautiful. So from there, just gently moving your brick and your strap, planting the feet down and rolling all the way down to lie on your back. Taking the elbows wide, tucking them down the back like little cactus arms, and just giving your legs a little windscreen wiper from side to side. Just a little windscreen wiper, a little stretch. And then from there, we'll take a little dynamic bridge. So we're just going to ease out the spine with a dynamic bridge. So grounding down, big toe, little toe, heel, engaging the core, pressing both feet into the mat, grounding down, tucking the tailbone, lifting up, squeezing the glutes at the top, and really, really, really slowly rippling down. So slow, controlled, squeezy lift. Knees stay in line with ankles, in line with hips. And very slowly rippling down. Moving with control. Up. And slowly down. Easing out the spine for another 3. Just rolling up. And down. 2. 1 more time, just rolling up, squeezing the glutes, and down. From there, the left leg extends, hug in with the right knee, and we're taking the left hand to the right knee and drawing the right knee across the body, extending the right arm away. So right hand and right knee are moving horizontally. So I always like to think of this as the right knee and the right hand are being pulled, drawn away from each other lengthways, and then releasing down to the mat. So focus on finding that space, and then release that right shoulder down, the right knee down, and find an easy breath. Maybe enjoying closing the eyes here, and see if you can let go. Sink down for another 5. Inhaling, exhaling. 4, 3, inhale, exhale. 2, and 1. With control, returning, right leg extends, hugging with left, and taking that twist. So drawing the right hand to the left knee comes across the body, the left arm extends. Left knee and left hand really stretching out away from each other, focusing on finding that quality of space, and then releasing down. Left shoulder is softening. Breathing into the back of the left body. Remember, it's that horizontal movement. Left knee and left hand stretching right away from each other, and then releasing down. In and out with the breath. Easy full breaths in, easy full breaths out. Working here for 5. Inhaling, exhaling. 4. Really deep, full breaths in and out. 3, 2. One more inhale. And exhale. Come back through center. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little stretch. And taking both knees as one, drawing some circles with the knees. So you start to massage out the lumbar spine, just gently releasing through the lower back. One way. And the other way. Taking the knees in some semicircles away from each other and towards each other. And then finally just taking a happy baby. Peace sign fingers around the big toes, knees in towards the armpits. Thinking about extending the whole of the lower back down towards the floor. Tucking the shoulders down the back and feel the tailbone extend to the floor. Inhaling. Exhaling for 5. So lovely stretch right out through the lower back, finding space in the hips. 4. Deep breaths in. And out. 3. 2. And 1. Just stretching out there. And finding your way to a point of rest, to a point of stillness. If you want to take a little wiggle, if there's any movements that you feel your body needs, if there's any positions that you would like to take right now, it can be really nice to have the feet on the outside of the edge and the knees knocking in. It can be nice to extend the legs fully. You could take a supine bound angle, soles of the feet together. You could throw the legs up a wall or come back to lie on your tummy. Whatever you like, just finding a position that works for you. Hands over the head, out wide, down the sides, on the belly, on the heart. Again, whatever at all works for you, whatever feels nice. And simply close the eyes and chill out. Bringing the awareness back to the breath, maybe. Maybe a count of the breath. Counting the inhale. 2, 3, 4. The exhale. 2, 3, 4. Counting out 5 more really deep breaths in and out here. Really full inhales. Exhales. Taking one more really deep inhale. Exhale. From there, starting to give yourself a squeeze, lovely little hug in, little stretch. And then when you're ready, rolling into a ball on one side, carefully, slowly finding your way back up to a final comfortable seat. Letting the sit bones ground, the spine be long, the shoulders release down the back. From there, inhale, reaching up tall. Exhaling the hands back to heart center. And just taking a moment here. Let the spine lengthen, the shoulders release down the back. Take a deep breath into the chest, letting the shoulders relax. One more inhale. Exhale. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you all so much for practicing and sharing. Have a lovely rest of your whatever you're doing next, and I'll see you soon. Namaste. Beautiful work. Well done.